So welcome back. This is tutorial 5 on Autodesk Inventor and making a sumo bot. So to get started, this was our last part that we did in tutorial 4, and this is a completed wheel. And what we want to do now is go on and we're going to make the chassis or the base part for the whole project. So I'm simply going to go up to New, and I'm going to grab a standard part, and we'll start the screen, and basically we're already here and it's a blank screen. So let's get started. We're going to do the base. Create a sketch. I'm going to go use the top surface, and I'm this time going to go to rectangle, and when you click on the little arrow here you get different rectangles, and there's this one called 2-point center we're going to use. So I'm going to click on the center, and it's just going to come out, and I got this whole thing dead center to all the planes, which is very useful. Okay, so I've clicked on that, and I want to dimension it right away, and my top one is going to end up being 3 inches, and you can see it's going to disappear. So I'm going to double click the center mouse button, and there it comes back, and I'm going to dimension this one, and it's going to be 4.75. Okay, if you actually convert these to millimeters, you'll find pretty quickly that it's almost into that 13 by 13 range, or that this one here is close to the 13 centimeters. Okay, so now that I've got my basic base done, I'm going to click on Finish Sketch, and I'm just going to click on Home to zoom it out a bit, and I'm just going to extrude it. And this time around, the extrude thickness is going to be the thickness of the plastic we're using, which is going to be 1/8 of an inch. So I can actually put in here 1/8 like that, and that will do it. Or in this case, it's also 3 millimeters, which is approximately 1/8. Okay, and I'm just going to leave it at 3 mils and click on OK, and there's my thickness. Right now, what I want to do is add some holes on here in the corners, basically to hold a body on later on, and also 2 in the center to basically hold a gearbox in that you're going to screw onto it eventually. So click on the surface, it goes blue, create sketch. Right, I'm just going to drag this down a bit so we can work, and zoom in a tiny bit so we can work on it. Put my first circle in place, and I'm going to just put it somewhere over here. This is going to be for the gearbox, a screw to hold the gearbox in place. And I'll go dimension, and I'm going to take this guy, and I know that the thickness of this, or the diameter of this, is going to be 0.1. And then I want to locate it off of the back edge by about 1 inch. So I'm going to click here, click on the center, and I know that that's going to be about 1 inch. And I'm just going to scroll up here a bit so I get the center of this. Oops, one too far. And what I'm going to do, my last dimension is going to be from the center here to the center here, and if you go this way you can see the dimensions that way, but if I scroll up this way I get a dimension that way, and I want that one 1.15. Okay, so there's my first hole. Okay, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to mirror it over to the other side this time. So I'm going to click on a line this time, and I'll explain this in a second, and I'm going to put a line down the center here. Okay, I'm just going to hit escape to get rid of the command I'm in. And I'm going to mirror this now over to this side. So I come up to Pattern, and I go to Mirror. Click on it. Okay, I'm just going to move this out of the way here a bit. And I'm going to select the object. So I'm going to select that circle. It's pretty simple. Select the mirror line. So I'm going to select this line itself. And I'm going to hit Apply. And you can see it automatically flips to the other side. And I just click on Done. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is also put in 4 holes, 2 up here, and 2, I'm just going to zoom out once more, and 2 down here to hold the body in place. So go back to a circle, start right here. Doesn't matter where I start because I'm going to dimension it. Hit escape to get out of that tool. Go to dimension. The diameter of this circle is going to be 0.15 for a screw to go through. And then the distance from the center to the top edge, that is going to be 0.2 of an inch, and the distance from here to this edge is going to be 0.2 as well. So there's my first hole. I'm going to zoom out a tiny bit. I'm going to zoom out a bit more than that. I'm going to go to the bottom now, one more. Okay, let's just see if I can actually zoom in. Yeah, we're going to make it. Oh, we'll see if we make it. Okay, so we're going to take a circle now, again, and we're going to put in the bottom one. Now you see how as I do this, there's this line that kind of lines up with things around it. So I'm going to line up this line to the center of the circle up top. I'm going to click, put my next circle in. Okay, and then from here, just zoom in. And again, what I'm going to do is dimension it and say, well, I really want that circle to be 0.15. Okay, same size as before. and I want the distance from here, although you know it's already been lined up, so that distance should be 0.2, and it is. Okay, so already is, and we'll just check that. And then the last one is from the center down to the bottom here. And I want that one, I'm going to put it about 0.5. Yours may vary. It all depends on the body that you make later on, because what's going to happen is a screw is going to have to go through this hole up into the body to hold the body onto the chassis. Okay, so those are my basic two holes, and I'm going to zoom out a tiny bit. And now I'm going to mirror both those across this line. So go back to mirror, select, which it already is, select that hole there, and that circle there, I should say, and then the mirror line, select there, apply, and you can see there's my other holes. So now I've got 6 holes in place. Okay, and I click on done. And I'm going to click on, those are all the holes I need, and I click finish. And now you know the typical what's next. I'm going to extrude. So I'm going to click on extrude, and I'm going to click, I might have to zoom in a tiny bit. There's 1 hole, there's 2 holes. Let's zoom down this way a bit. Let's get into there. Can I get there? 3 holes, 4, 5, and 6. And these holes, I want them to go to the next surface, and I want to cut, which it's already on. And I'm going to click on OK, and now I have all my holes done. Okay, and you know you can go at any time go back and actually change the size of these holes and things like that. Okay, now the last step in this tutorial is I'm just going to round the edges. So I'm just going to zoom in, and you've done the fillet tool before, so I just click fillet, click on that surface, hold the shift key down, and I'm rotating around, go to that surface, hold the shift key down, come around, grab that one, shift, whoops, right there, and I'm just going to move something here. There, I've got all my surfaces now. And what I can do, and I'm just going to move this off and zoom out a tiny bit. Okay, and I'm going to press the home just so you can see, whoops, right there. Okay, so there's my fillets. And I'm just going to use this drop down menu, and you can see now, you know, I can go to this radius. It says 4 selected, yep, my radius. And I'm going to change that to 0.25 or 1/4 of an inch, right? So 0.25. And you can see them change, and I'm just going to click on OK, and we're done. So now what I have is a part, my base, that's going to get cut out on a laser engraver. It's got the 6 holes, 4 for the screws to screw into the body, and then the 2 for the actual, these 2 here, that the gearbox is going to screw to in a bit. So that's pretty much it for this tutorial, and that completes it. So looking forward to tutorial number 6 after this.